Everybody. So here's the first two videos. First one on 30, 60, 90 triangles, and the second one on 45, 45, 90. Now, the idea is that we use that special right triangle investigation, that worksheet we've been working on the last couple of days to help us to do this. And we're going to use the results. So in this first video, we're going to make use of the results of the 30, 60, 90. So quickly review it. Notice that opposite the 30-degree angle is called the shorter leg. Opposite the 60-degree angle is called the longer leg, so you times it by the square root of 3. And opposite the right triangle is 2x. That all came from the worksheet. Okay, take a look at our first one, which is number 1. Number 1, what are we given? Well, first of all, we're given a right triangle, and it's at 30, 60, 90. These things only work for the two special right triangles. We're given the side opposite the 30-degree angle, which is called the shorter leg. The shorter leg is x. To get the longer leg, I have to take x and multiply it by the square root of 3. So if this is x, x times the square root of 3 should be 3 times the square root of 3. That's it. How do I get the hypotenuse? Well, you take the shorter leg and you multiply it by 2. So the shorter leg is 3. I multiply it by 2 and I get 6. And there are my answers for that triangle. Not a lot of work to show in some of these. Take a look at number 2. Number 2 immediately gets a lot more challenging. So in number 2, right triangle, 30, 60, 90. Notice now I'm given the longer leg. The longer leg is the shorter leg, which is x, times the square root of 3. So if I want to get the shorter leg, what should I do to the longer leg if they give me the longer leg? Well, I should do the opposite. I should divide by the square root of 3. So I'm going to take 10, and I'm going to divide it by the square root of 3. That's not considered a simplified answer. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom by the square root of 3, which is called rationalizing the denominator. And I get 10 root 3 over 3. 3 doesn't go into that 10, so that would be my shorter leg, 10 root 3 over 3. That's about as challenging as these get, and that's not simple. Okay, now I'm not done. I got to get the hypotenuse, right? How do I get the hypotenuse? I take the shorter leg and I times it by 2. So I just take this number right there. I'm going to have to do it down here. And I times it by 2, or 2 over 1, times 10 root 3 over 3. You multiply straight across. I get 20 root 3 over 3. Okay, again, some ugly, ugly answers, but that is how we do a question like that. Take a look at number 3. Number 3, again, we're given the longer leg. I think one of the more challenging things is when you're given the longer leg. Take a look at our picture that's given to you in all tests, quizzes, SATs. To get the longer leg is the shorter leg times the square root of 3. So this is the shorter leg times the square root of 3. So how do I get the shorter leg? I divide by the square root of 3. So square root of 6 divided by square root of 3. Now I could simplify this the same way I did this one up here. However, notice there's a radical on top and a radical on the bottom. There's your shortcut, which is square root of 2. So x equals square root of 2. How do I get the hypotenuse? I take the shorter leg and I times it by 2. So I take that number and times it by 2, and I get 2 root 2. And there is my answer to that question, because 2 times root 2 is just 2 root 2.